training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners.
Team, welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Weezy Shoemaker, joined as always by Justin McClintock. And today I will be spiritedly speaking at you.
I'm excited. I don't know what happened, but I know something happened.
Something happened. Somebody who I don't know super duper well, but who I know well enough that they have access to my phone number.
Sure.
We were chatting about plans for the week. This is somebody in my I don't want to say too much because I don't want it to be clear who this person is. But this is a person that I see quite a bit, and we also don't know a lot about each other. And they said that they have to work out today because they ate like an idiot over the weekend.
Yeah.
And so I was a little late logging onto this call because I felt that it was very important to make a point. Yep. Obviously, I asked for permission. I said, hey, you know what I do? Do you want acquaintance Weeze to reply to you, or do you want Coach Weeze to reply to you?
Careful.
Because I have responses for both. And this is me
inside each of us, there are two wolves.
I am an acquaintance or I am a coach. There is
choose
nothing
the wolf
in between.
Who's going to bite your fucking head off?
This person said, how about both?
All right.
So
double wolf in it.
Had to put a pin in that and then immediately put myself on Do Not Disturb and log on to this call. Yeah. So hopefully they don't think like she just dropped bars and now is putting herself in D&D.
Did you send them like a 45-line text response and then log off?
I feel like 45 is maybe too much, but certainly more than 15 lines.
Really? I mean, you also you asked for permission, which is a very nice thing.
Yeah.
And then I imagine expressed it with some empathy.
Yeah, right. Like acquaintance Weeze said, oh no, that happens to the best of us. Drat. And Coach Weeze was like, well, actually. So this actually tees up really nicely, I think, into what I had planned for today anyway, which is talking about knowing and understanding and living in alignment with our why.
Big one.
And so we're gonna think about this as it relates to fitness, exercise, nutrition, and this can be a really powerful lens to view just about anything through.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Like we try to stay in our scope of practice and to keep things relevant to like this is a fitness podcast, so we're here to talk about fitness. And also many of the same principles that we talk about on the podcast apply to other stuff too.
Yeah, in a big way. And so many of these things are, even what that person said to you, stuff often gets framed in, well, I know I should X, but, and then insert a real person with a real life and real behaviors and all of that stuff. And I think it all needs to get questioned.
Right. Exactly. So why is knowing your why even important? Right.
Yeah.
I will drop the PubMed. Help me remember to drop the PubMed into the show notes so that we actually have it. The dropout point on exercise is 47% within 2 months and 86% within 6 months. We've touched on some of this related to like setting good habits in the past. When we're introducing something new, when it's pertaining to exercise, the fall off rate is a cliff. It's huge.
Yes, it's very, very significant. And I think like, if you're hearing the numbers Weeze just said, and you're more than, was it 2 months or 3 months? It's 86%.
2 months is 47. 6 months is 86%.
If you've been kind of consistent for more than 6 months, you are in a rarefied air.
Yeah. Right. I texted this when I was doing research for this show, I came across this statistic and it floored me. And a couple of clients that I work with came to mind who, when they started working with me, they'd either been coming off a very long period of not moving their bodies or they never had intentionally. And a couple of them, we've been working together like about 7 to 8 months and done some really impressive things. And they are sort of leaving a little bit the like new to fitness, improving all the time, seeing all this positive up front. Like they're starting to, for lack of using a word that I think is overused, they're starting to plateau, right? The gains are a little harder to come by because they don't have the benefit of being brand new to fitness anymore. And so I picked a couple of them that I thought this would be particularly resonant on and texted them personally and said, hey, here's this statistic. We've been going at this for 7+ months. And so it's really likely that this is just a part of who you are now. How cool is that? How fucking cool is that?
This is just a thing you always do.
This is just part of you, right? If you were a resume, prioritizes fitness would be one of the bullet points.
Yep. Big time.
Yeah. So this is the concept of understanding your why. Like, yeah, okay, here's the drop-off point. Why does that matter if I know my why, right? Like, do I need to know my why to just like keep my nose to the grindstone for 6 months and make it be a part of who I am? Technically, no. But understanding your why, which is your purpose, mission, or belief related to fitness and exercise, is essential because that's going to provide motivation and fuel resilience during tough times. And it drives intentional decision making rather than like, that looks fun, or like, that sounds like maybe a good idea. Do you want to do a high rocks, Justin? It's tomorrow. Do you want to do it? Right? It shifts focus from merely what you do to why you do it, right? A couple of things I thought that was important to like bullet point out when we're thinking about, okay, well, what is my why and how do I apply it to fitness? If you're somebody for whom motivation wanes and waxes, which often happens within that 3 to 6 month threshold, a deep emotional why drives you to stick to your routine. A deep emotional why is not so that I can continue to look ripping in a bikini.
Sadly, no.
No. Sadly, no.
Even if, and this is an important point, even if that's something that's really, really important to you, even if that is a really big deal and you are honestly telling me that's the thing that you think is most important to you, it is not compelling enough to get us past this 6-month thing to really ingrain deep habits. It's cool if that's important to you. Genuinely. Awesome. I'm on board. We need to keep digging.
Right. Well, here's kind of my filter for potentially all of these, right? Like, okay, well, my why is so that I continue to be the fittest dad on the block. Like, okay, fine. If that's important to you, like sick, we can put it on an index card. And if your why, if we peel back the layers a few and it's actually like shame in a trench coat, that's not powerful enough to keep us going. And so you might think like being the biggest, baddest dad in my coffee group is really important to me, or being the hottest mom on the hot mom weekend is really, really important to me. Fine. But if we peel that back literally 2 layers, it's like, I am afraid that if I am not the hottest person there, I don't have enough value. Or I am afraid if I am not the strongest and fastest and most big dog there, I have less value. They will see me for who I am, which is a self-conscious person, right? So when we're thinking about, okay, well, then what is my why? What is my driving force? What is the belief that I have associated to pursuing this? If it is rooted in, I'm trying to outrun this negative belief that I have about myself, try again.
Yeah, you're not that fast. You're not fast enough.
You're not that fast. It's going to catch up, right? When we know our why, we have the benefit of having more clarity because we can turn vague goals into specific actions, which reduces wasted effort because it ensures your actions align with what you actually want.
So important. I was going to tag this on later if we didn't get to it, which of course we did. And this is true for people who are working alone, following a program, doing a YouTube thing, working with a coach, doing a group program. Like the goal task alignment, the more clear it is. And for coaches out there, the better you are at communicating this and explaining it and making it fucking obvious, because I absolutely guilty of this sometimes. Like I think too fast and I'm ahead. I'm already designing out the little matrix program and it all makes sense to me. And then 3 weeks in, someone is like, this takes a lot of setup and is a whole thing. And I don't under, why are we doing this? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I should have led with that. Yeah,
Right.
this is integral to the thing you said was important. And here's the bricks we're building. And this is the foundation we're going to launch off of. And that's why it's really, really important. And I made it super hard because the goal task alignment is perfect. That's why it's worth doing this thing that is tough and hard or complicated or whatever. When you don't understand, especially if it's not super fun, that's part of where some of the drop off happens. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not fun enough, or I'm not enjoying it anymore. And it's not obvious how this actually gets me to the place where I said I wanted to be. What am I doing?
Right. Exactly. That reminds me of a nutrition client that we just started working together a couple of weeks ago, who we had such a good rapport already going into it. And still we had to schedule an hour to talk about, here is why we're starting with water and how this builds the framework for where we're going next. And now, we're 6 weeks in and we're onto our third habit, and she already sees oh, this is where this is going. I see this now, right? I believed you and I appreciate that you took the time to explain it to me. And I now actually am seeing that difference happen. I wouldn't have been as successful starting with the third step. Yeah, I fucking know.
Yeah, I know, but also they need to understand.
They need to understand.
Capable of understanding, but if it's not incredibly obvious, it should be spelled out.
Right. Exactly. Right. A strong, kind of to that point, just a tiny sidestep to the right on that. A strong why makes the how, which is the training, easier because you are tethered to, this is why this is important to me. And so it can help you push through tough workouts or find time and flexibility on busy days, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is the most important thing to me. And it's also maybe the thing that I hate the most on this day of programming. I am going to do that first. And a good coach probably is going to have it written that way for you, right? Eat the frog. Probably.
Don't save it for last. Don't.
Probably not. It's easy to I'm tired. I gotta go. It's dinner time. I have a blister. It's raining. It's Tuesday. I gotta leave.
I've magically decided I'm out of time.
I, for one, have never done this.
I did it yesterday. I looked at that. I was like, I'm so tired. I've done so much stuff. And this list of, I don't want to do any of this nonsense. Absolutely not. I'm out of here.
I want to do it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nick, if you're listening to this, we need to put that portion at the beginning of the session. The next piece on knowing your why and on why. Well, I'm saying why too much. Why? You're going to do something with this. I just know that.
Kind of the EDM remix.
Why? Knowing your why can build confidence and foster a sense of purpose that feels rewarding in itself, rather than just chasing the external result, right? If I put the quarter into the machine, I'm going to get the gumball out. You don't decide to just put the quarter into the machine for the joy of it. However, if we have a sense of purpose that feels rewarding in itself and we're seeing intentional progress, even without getting to the thing that is maybe important to you at the end of the yellow brick road, it's building intrinsic motivation to keep doing it because you're seeing the bricks get laid.
Completely.
Right? It also can help foster some sustainable change because it transforms fitness from a punishment or a chore or a shame-based exercise into a meaningful lifestyle choice, which prevents the common all or nothing cycle, right? Hey, I feel really good and better able to show up for my young children when I have taken the time to intentionally move my body. It doesn't make my kids act any better. That's
Right.
for sure, right? But it does give me the tools to, one, I know that I can do hard things because I just did some real fucking hard things in the gym. And two, I don't feel like I have spent every waking moment of my life doing something for somebody else. And so I am able to give a little bit more that I wouldn't to them.
I think that's an important
Right.
point, and that so many of the really big whys don't really have a finish line. Like,
Yeah.
the biggest, sexiest, most compelling whys aren't, I want to weigh exactly 150 pounds, or I want to look awesome in this bikini, or I want to win the weightlifting competition, or I want to run my fastest marathon, or like, those are all great goals. And those could be biggish whys. But, the ones where I had one, I don't remember if we talked about this on the pod or not, in the past month or two, a client who's a single mom told me that one of her goals was she had promised her kid that anytime he wanted to be picked up, he could just ask for it and she would do it. And he asked the other day. He's 13. Doesn't happen often. It's, but out of nowhere, he was like, Mom, can you still pick me up? She's like, of course.
Of course.
He walked over and she did. He's like, oh, that's cool. And walked away. She's like, that might not happen for another 3 or 4 years. It might never happen again. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want
Right.
the answer to always be yes.
Right. Yeah. I relate to that deeply. And I also have to continue picking up really, really heavy things because my husband is 6'5" and like 230. So, and I made 2 copy pastes of him. So, something that I think is important too about this, like the ability to foster sustainable change, is that if you have a strong understanding of your why, you are probably willing to be more flexible with the how and the what, right? If the what is the thing that drives you, well, yeah, I need to do 5 sets of 5 of this, and I have then a superset of a pull press, and then I have to do 40 minutes on the stair climber. And if I don't do exactly that, it's just not even worth doing. And that's just rooted in, well, yeah, I just want to be the most shredded on the block. Like, not important enough. And somebody who says, hey, I want to be able to pick my kid up when they're 18 years old is going to say, okay, well, I don't have time to make it to the gym today, but I can do a superset of my AB piece with the dumbbell or kettlebell or dog that I have at my house. Cool. Right? Like, we're able to, when we have a strong tether back to what is the point, it's able to help us stay flexible rather than be so rigid with the application of the thing.
Yeah. This is true also for people like dealing with like pain, injury, setbacks, coming back from that kind of stuff. Like, if you believe and are told or are set on a path where the only way forward is this line, and you get stuck, or like you referenced earlier, you just start plateauing, like, hey, I do my 5 exercises, but 3 sets of 15 every single day, and it was gangbusters for a while, but it's week 10 and nothing's happened since week 7.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? If the answer is just keep doing them, you're probably not going to, and then you fall off, and all the PTs wonder why people don't hear stuff. You're like, oh, because you're not explaining the 15 other roads to the same place that they want to get to.
This reminds me of when I was in college. I was a real big Beachbody fan, and I did Insanity a number of times and P90X a number of times. And I distinctly remember a few times, like halfway through Insanity, it would fall on like a midterm week, and there was no way that I was going to get it all done. And I remember Sean T saying at one point, like way back then, he's probably changed his tune a little bit on this, but like, yeah, if you can't get through it, you just need to start it over. Like, this is not a thing that you skip days on, right? Like, and certainly maybe like that's through my paraphrased lens of, at that point, I was very black and white thinking, like you're either doing it or you're not. And it was not tethered to a strong why. It was tethered to, I want to be under 130 pounds in my wedding dress, right? Like, gross. I'm 5'5". I'm full of muscle. That is not appropriate. But it was important to me at the time. It was the what. And it was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just start over because I'm not tough enough to get through it this time. Like, we'll make it happen next time. That sucks.
Yeah, it completely sucks. And that is marketing, not coaching.
Right.
And that is not like, even if that was said in like a private message to you, that's the kind of message that's designed for other people to hear it and have a reaction, not to actually help you.
Right. No. And it wasn't helpful because then, like, I started it over and I did at some point get through the whole thing, but like rooted in the shame of like, I had to start this over like 5 or 6 times before I could finally get to it. File under this. If it's important to you, you'll make the time.
Yeah. We've talked about that before, and that inevitably, like when I hear stuff like that, or when I hear coaches complain how like, no one has discipline. No one wants to do the things. I told them exactly what they need to do and no one's doing it. This is a coaching problem. This is not a client problem. You're wrong.
You are failing to meet people where they need to be met. Yeah. This is a you thing.
Or you're not understanding, or you're not communicating, or you're not listening, or but like this is a this is a coaching active verb problem.
Right. And then last, but I don't know that I would call it most importantly, but it's something that I really relate to when I think about why I do what I do related to operating sustained, is the concept of authentic connection coming about when we are really certain in our why. Because Simon Sinek's concept of the golden circle highlights that people are drawn to why you do something, not to what you do, right? Like, yeah, cool, you summited a mountain. Great. Why? Right? Like, oh yeah, well, I climbed this mountain and I raised a bunch of money for my cousin who has ALS. Right? Like, cool. I'm not saying I did that. Let me be very clear. That is not a thing that I did. I don't have a cousin with ALS and I did not summit a mountain recently. But think about the like feel goody sports and fitness articles that you might have seen recently, right? I know we had a woman, and I don't remember her name, who just won a major ultra marathon.
Oh yeah.
Broke a bunch of records, and a lot of the press on her is about why she did it. And then a lot of press on the man who came in second is like what he did and how he prepared. And I find that so interesting because she's getting all of this like praise and accolades, and he's kind of getting roasted a little bit by everybody who's not a gym bro. And it's like, oh yeah, cool. Cause you just showed that you had tremendous discipline and not a whole lot else going on. Whereas she's got this incredible like backlog of stuff that we can unpack of how incredible it is that she was able to do this and why she wanted to in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's worth saying here that I know there's someone listening who's like, I'm incredibly committed. I don't really miss workouts. I'm super flexible. I get a lot done. It's pretty impressive. And I don't have one of these things. You do. You haven't unpacked it. We haven't talked about it. We haven't dug into it. And that's fine. You may not, if what I just said is true, if you're killing it at all fronts and it's always working and you're feeling good and you're making progress and it's all working, keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Assuming you're not hurting anyone else in the process, like keep doing what you're doing. But you are feeding something inside of you. That is what is keeping this going. It doesn't happen any other way.
No, it doesn't. And so then to kind of like bring it back full circle to the soapbox that I got up on right before this call, I know that this person has kids. And they have stated to me in the past, like, I am getting healthy because my kids deserve a version of me who is not a passenger parent, right? Like my kids deserve a present version of me.
That's really good.
So like my nudges to that person, if they ask in the future, right? Coaches don't give unsolicited advice. People don't give unsolicited advice, right? Tons of permission. The door is now open. If they come to me and say, hey, I really thought about what you had to say. I wonder what it might look like to have exercise feel like a celebration of what my body is capable of rather than a punishment for having a difficult weekend related to my food intake. Can you help me think about that? Like, yeah, I'm then going to go like, okay, what is required to throw your kid up in the air? What is required to jump on a trampoline? What is required to sprint after a child-sized bike? What is required to crawl around on the floor with a kid on your back, right? These are the types of things that I'm going to think about if they ask me, okay, how to like help me view my fitness through that lens, right? And then also, hey, how do I stop having like a week that's all the way on and a weekend that's all the way off? Yeah, cool, sick. What would it look like to like have one singular beer on a Tuesday, right? What would it feel like to have a single piece of cake that you buy from the bakery aisle on like a Thursday at lunchtime, right? Like that's part of the reason why occasionally I will go and get a cannoli. I don't do it every day, but if I'm like, it would feel really good to on Friday afternoon, if I am done with everything that I would like to be done with, like go and get a cannoli and make a cup of coffee and then like take a walk. How cool would that feel? Rather than being like, well, but we don't eat cannolis because we have aesthetic goals. And so we're not gonna do that. Okay, at some point that's gonna catch up to me and I'm gonna become back alley raccoon Weeze who eats like 3 cannolis in 7 minutes. And it's like, I have dust all over my body, right? That's not helpful.
You just negotiate for the filling tube of cannoli filling, and it's like,
yes. So I'm glad that I had this episode planned for today, and I'm extra glad that I had the opportunity to like nudge somebody in the direction of why, and perhaps like, hey, you're standing right in front of what? Can you take like 2 or 3 steps this way?
well, and I think that does a really good job underlining that when you have a why or whys, there could be multiple, it will inform everything you do in your life to some degree.
Right.
Like if that is powerful and important to you, it will affect what you eat. It will affect how you sleep, or if you sleep, or when you sleep. It will affect all the things you do overwhelmingly in a positive way. It doesn't mean you turn into a monk. It doesn't mean you turn into a fitness nerd. It doesn't mean you turn into someone who brings their fucking Tupperware to the restaurant and eats it there like a goddamn weirdo. Yes, that makes you a weirdo. But it tends to bring intention to a lot of life. And when things are intentional, they feel more in control. And when things are in control, they can be adjusted. And that's a really exciting feeling, especially in a world designed to be and feel chaotic often. And so many of the conversations I have with new clients are, it just feels out of control. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what's going on. Help. We start nailing these things down. And now they're just dials we can, after a while, they're just dials we can turn. It's so much easier, and it is lifting a burden off of yourself.
Well, imagine how hard getting literally anything done would be if you were relegated to the passenger seat, right? Like so much of what we do is teaching people that like, hey, actually the driver's seat is open. And like, here are a couple ways that we might like try that out.
Yeah.
Life's not happening to you. Yeah.
Exactly. These aren't things that are happening to you. These are things you've decided to do. And that could be fine. But if it's not fine, then let's look at changing it. And the circumstances around that change are what's really important, not just, hey, you should eat more vegetables.
Right. Exactly. This reminds me of one other conversation that I had recently with my very, very dearest friend. She might hear this. She might not. I know she'll be okay that I am giving away that it is her. She has 3 young children that are all younger than my Walter, right? So like, imagine 3 tiny chaos boys. She is a very high level employee. Her partner is a very high level employee. And she is somebody who previously, like, fitness was a very big part of her life. Sure. And she knows that I go to a gym that has childcare that both of my children really enjoy. And she asked me, how are you training as much as you are? Like, how are you able to carve out time to do this? Like logistically, I'm asking, how is this possible? Because I know based off of we're like Apple Watch buddies. And so we get notified when each other works out. She's like, I know how much you're training. How is this happening? Like, I have questions. And my answer to her, because I know quite a bit about her life already, is that like your kids are in a lot of activities. They are swimming, they are playing soccer, they are playing baseball. You have family locally that you hang out with quite a bit. You do a slightly later drop off than I do. You do the drop off a lot of the time. Your partner doesn't, right? Like our boys are not in sports at this point, even like as a club sport type situation. The only activity that they do is swimming, and it is at the gym that we are at anyway.
Right.
Right. And so I know that she has either soccer or family time or baseball or swim lessons both weekend mornings, which are the 2 days that I know absolutely, even if everything else falls apart during the week, those are going to be the days that I get to the gym. I also know that we do car dinners some nights of the weeks, right? Like it's a kiddo lunchable and it's a mom adult lunchable, right? And we will pack their pajamas and sometimes change them there and come home and go straight to bed. That does mean we don't get a lot of family time on those nights. We don't do that every night, but like, hey, it's not fair for you to compare yourself to me because we're doing wildly different stuff, right? Like, and this is not me critiquing the way that you're approaching your life, but I know that if I was doing all the stuff you're doing, there is no way I would be able to do what I am doing for myself. And so if you decide moving your body intentionally is really important to you and there is not anything that you could trim off, you're probably going to have to get more creative with how fitness looks to you. And it's been my absolute delight to witness her injecting like 12-minute walks into her day. She figured out exactly how long both step count and time distance it takes to walk around her block. And she'll be like, look at that. I got time for a quick 2 laps, right? Or she'll do a 15-minute Peloton after she drops the kids off and before she logs on for the day, right? Like, if you look at a 15-minute Peloton from the lens of, well, but I wanted to do 45, it is a failure. If you look at 15 compared to, hey, I'm coming off of 18 months of almost complete inactivity, what a colossal success.
Yeah.
Right?
And
like,
it's fighting that all or nothing thing.
Right.
Again, like if the only thing that can be success is 6 days a week for 90 minutes plus in the gym, and you haven't really intentionally designed your life for that, you're going to feel like a failure all the time. And then taking that extra step back and realizing I have designed this life. Yes, things happen to people. Yes, there are circumstances. There's lots of stuff that can't be moved, but there's lots of stuff that can be moved. And that's often a matter of priorities and other circumstances and things like that. Those can be changed. Those can be moved. And then we get as creative as we need to be if this is important around those circumstances.
Right. You get to be the architect of your life to a certain degree.
Yeah.
How cool.
100%.
How cool. So that's Know Your Why.
Good. I like it.
I'm glad. What a bummer it would be if you didn't.
That's it? Okay.
That was fine. Are you going to get to like the point?
Wait, that was it? That was I thought we were building to something. Oh, okay. Okay. Sure.
No. That's it. That's the whole thing. Should we do a segment?
Let's do a segment. I decided to revive a long dead meme. That is the one's gotta go memes, where you get a selection. I'm doing all triplets because I like it that way. But I'm going to give you 3 things, and you have to decide. We're going to eliminate one from your life forever. These are the circumstances. So if it's Hershey's bar, Snickers, Twix, which one is going to disappear?
Well, it's going to be all of them.
Sure. That was just an example question.
Right. Sure. I imagine these are going to be very painful for me.
I'm going to start super easy and maybe get more painful. So
Okay, great.
super easy. One's got to go. Ted, Jack, Walter. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're not doing that. But I was excited.
I'm not answering that.
I was excited to see your face. I thought there was like a 2% chance I would get an answer too. One's got to go. Modern conveniences: Wi-Fi, air conditioning, Bluetooth.
Ooh, yikes. I think I could do without Bluetooth.
Yeah,
I
wired.
do. I think
Everything wired.
I could go back to wired stuff. I could go analog watch. I could toss my Aura ring. I would have a very hard time with air conditioning because Ted was out of town this weekend and I turned on the air and it did not start doing anything. And I had exhausted all of my know-how and I'm pressing the thing not do.
I pressed the button again. I pressed the go
Why?
button.
Right. Why? I did not know how to turn our ceiling fan on, so that is an opportunity for me.
That's really funny.
Yeah, truly. Our house has some really peculiar wiring. We have a couple of switches where the previous owner put like a sticker underneath it that just says,
Not sure. Yeah.
We don't know. So I actually don't know which switch and remote combo power our ceiling fan. So, and it was only 77 degrees and I was ready to like yeet myself out of the house.
Oh dear. It's going to get warmer than that.
It is, but it was 90 degrees outside yesterday. So it was like, imagine carrying in groceries and small people and expecting it to be like a brisk 68 and it's 77. You're like, nope. Nope.
Not today.
Not today. Ted?
All right. Beverages: water, coffee, seltzer.
I could give up water. No problem.
Awesome.
No problem.
What I thought it was like comfort food: pizza, burgers, tacos.
I could give up burgers. I honestly don't remember my last burger. If I'm in a place that has burgers, they probably also have steak, which is what I'm getting.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I've only had one like drive-through fast food hamburger my whole life.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I did it because somebody found out that I hadn't and they forced me to. And I was like, this is bad.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
It's weird that you want to watch me do this. I don't.
Yeah.
You need to go have someone ask you some questions about why this is exciting for you.
Right. Sure.
It's not going to be me.
No.
Compound movements: back squat, front squat, overhead squat.
I could give up the front squat.
I suspected that was going to be it.
For those listening who don't know this, Justin was at one point my coach. And yeah, girl don't like a front squat. She'll do it. If it's on the checklist,
loves
we'll
an
get it
overhead
done.
squat. Loves an overhead squat.
That's true.
Loves it.
Facts.
This is sort of like exercise categories, kind of slightly Wii-centric. So one's got to go: compound lifts, Metcons, pickleball.
Oh, Metcons, no question.
I wasn't sure.
No question. Yeah. I don't remember my last Metcon either.
Okay.
Because I'm mostly at this point like training. Well, this is kind of a tangent. Maybe we get into this after segment, but pretty confident that I have some post-exertion malaise related to the back-to-back sicknesses that I experienced. And I'm also at this point like less than 60 days out from the Peru trip. And so most of my training looks like 2 days a week of high rep, like we're talking about like 12 to 20 at near maximal loads in that rep scheme. To continue being strong, but to prioritize endurance right now. And stair climber, walking, rucking is about to enter the equation in a big way, and continuing pickleball. And over the last couple of weeks, I have had to pull it back because getting my heart rate up over about 145 has made me about 6 to 8 hours later experience a migraine kind of across the board.
Yep.
So spoke with our mutual friend Stormy about this with a ton of consent. Like, hey, is it okay if I ask you about this? And her recommendation, which of course coaches are notoriously bad at seeing things for themselves, was that it was mostly a load versus capacity thing. And I reintroduced load that I did not have capacity for yet after being back-to-back sick. And so, hey, we just need to take like 10 to 14 days where you're not getting up above like a 145. And then when you re-enter it, like 10 to 20 minutes at a time, and then wait and see. Fuck. Shit. God damn it.
You mean the same way I would dose anybody else?
I'm not the exception, Stormy. And shocking, it's been working wonderfully. I'm sleeping better. Even my Aura ring is like, wow, things have really improved for you. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you stupid ring. So,
which also means you believe the data. The fact that it's making you mad.
Yeah. Well, it's not wrong in this instance, right? Like HRV is rising, sleep quality is improving, energy is improving, ability to deal with stress is improving. Yeah. Stupid, dumb, stupid. So anyway, I haven't done a MetCon in probably a year, and I don't really see a reason to introduce one at this point because it doesn't serve any of the goals that I have.
No, ditto. Yeah, I actively push back against even like the design. Like, I don't want, come on, just let the cardio be cardio and let the strength be strength. And
Come
leave
on.
it alone.
Right.
Must we? Coaching certifications. One's got to go. CrossFit, Precision Nutrition, Active Life.
CrossFit. No question.
I think in this scenario that means you never got it. You never experienced it.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's not what no, I refuse to honor that because that was introduced after I gave my answer.
Does it change your answer?
Well, if I didn't have my CrossFit level 1, I wouldn't be in fitness. Because that's where it started.
So it does change your answer.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'd give up precision nutrition because there's just other nutrition certificates that I can pursue.
That's fair. It's fair.
That's
Sorry,
my
Precision
answer.
Nutrition. You heard it here first.
RPN.
Weezy
John Berardi, please don't at me. I don't want you gone.
She just wishes she never experienced you. It's different.
That's awful. Get out
have
of here.
Spoken to John on more than one occasion. I am going to tag him in this clip.
You know what would make this better? Incredible. You know what would make this better, John Berardi, is like a Compt level 2 certification. I bet that would make me change my answer.
Yeah. Great. Would you even go to it? Would you do it?
Yeah, I would.
Would you? Okay. I don't.
Yeah, I like knowledge. I like knowing. You know this.
I like knowledge too. I would be really surprised if there was stuff I didn't know there.
Oh, no, I know there's lots I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they do really good work. We've talked about this. They do
great work.
Certification. It's very well designed.
Well, I guess too, maybe it's important to say, like, they put out a ton of information, almost everything that's in their certification for free.
Yeah.
Right? Active Life does this too. Like, you can piece together almost all of it on your own, and you're probably not going to.
Yeah, that's incredibly difficult, and you're probably not going to succeed. But it's not gate kept at all. It's all out there.
No, it's all there.
You just need in the right order with the right context, in the right, all of that stuff. Then with the right explanations, then it works.
Right.
All right, last one. I know this is going to be difficult for you, but one's got to go. Meaning, you don't ever get to experience it. No one in the world ever gets to experience it again.
This is going to be Noah Kahan, Taylor Swift, and somebody else I love. I know it.
I wrote that question and then crossed it out because I thought it was too easy. This is going to be harder. One's got to go. Lower ranked James Bond movies, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Die Another Day, or License to Kill.
Well, I've already seen Die Another Day, so I guess it can die today.
It's very fair. I understand.
It's very fair. And you also said it was not good. And that's the only one I've seen, and I've seen it several times. It's because that's the one DVD we had. And so I was like, Gonna watch this one.
The reason I've seen Dirty
Will
Dancing
anything-
11 times.
Sure.
Yeah. That's it. That was one's gotta go.
Thank you for not asking me to eliminate Taylor Allison Swift, because I can't do it.
And it was Taylor, Noah, and another person that I was working on going around, and I was like, nah, I feel like this is gonna.
Nah.
It's kind of.
I'm in a big NoahCon trip right now, which is like, it is been really interesting to listen to his new stuff in tandem with going to therapy. My therapist didn't know that he had dropped a new album, and so I spent at least 10 minutes of our session like talking to her about lyrics that he had, and like, this made me feel this, and this made me feel this. Good use of time and money.
And she went
do
and
it
like, I
again.
guess I have to buy
We'll
this
do it
album
again.
and read
Almost
the
certainly.
lyrics. Yeah. Get some insight into what's going on.
Right. That's right. Wow. Anything else that you think we should add?
I don't think so. That feels like a nice button.
Great. Love it. Team, this has been Training Partners. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. See you next time.
Later, gang.
Time for the training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to laugh and learn without you. Best friends so bright. It's time for the training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training